Welcome back to DAGryffyn Hobby. My name's Dave. This weekend I went to the Greenberg train show in Oaks, Pennsylvania. First, a little about the show. I do believe it's held a few times a year. I can't remember at the moment how many times, at least twice. And if you're going to go to one, don't go to the one that's in the summer. There is no such thing for me as a bad train show. This just was not as big as it has been other times, probably because I'm comparing it to, one that would be more in train season instead of right in the middle of the summer. There were a good amount of tables and a couple of layouts. I was there for maybe 4 hours, and I saw everything multiple times. So not a huge show, but I certainly did find enough to come home with. If you go to the show in Oaks at the convention center, do yourself a favor and completely drive around the building before you park. Each time I've been there, there have been multiple other types of shows there at the same time, so the lot gets absolutely packed. And they seem to not know how to put up signs to direct people where to go. So this time, I parked the absolute furthest away that I physically could. Not on purpose, mind you, but that's why I say drive around the building, because I didn't. I assumed the show was going to be in the same spot it was the last time I was there. And I got up to the door and it was some sporting event. So considering that it was like 85 degrees and 200% humidity, I was not particularly happy. So like I said, do yourself the favor, drive around the building and see if you can see signs for the train show, and then park based on that. I was on the fence if I was actually going to go to the show because it is the middle of summer and I do have one or two other things to do. One of my favorite parts of going to these shows, especially in this area, is that I get to hang out with a number of friends. Sean from DAGryffyn Productions was there, as well as David from DB Tech, Sean from Sean's Train Depot, and of course I was hanging out with my buddy Nick. We had a great time hanging out, walking around, shopping. I love watching other people spend money, so it's always fun seeing what Nick's going to go home with. So if you haven't, go check out his video. I don't know what's in it yet, but it's going to be a good one, I'm sure. I've kind of lost the taste for walking around and filming the entire show. It just became too much of a chore for me. So what I had started doing was taking pictures of items that really caught my eye, things that interested me, things that I hadn't seen before, or things that, I would like to buy but wasn't going to. So I got a couple minutes worth of video, comprised of photos of some of these items. I did not have the energy to do any recording of the layouts that were there, but I'm sure if you go and check out Nick's video or Dakman's video, you'll see some good footage there. I really wasn't looking for anything in particular, especially after the recent gift boxes that I had received. That really was just going to have a good time and hang out with friends and decide at the moment if I was coming home with anything. Sean asked me numerous times if I was sticking to any particular budget, and it was making me think about my, $20 or $30 train show challenge. I'm not as excited about those anymore. If I find a couple things I want and I've only spent like $25, then I will try to get out of the show with just that, but I just keep seeing too much awesome stuff, and I have poor self-control. Well, enough self-control that I don't spend, hundreds of dollars, but 25, I don't know, that's just tough. So I did come home with some new toys. This first item is a Weaver Pensy hopper, and it has the coal load. It's a good-looking car. It fits in with a lot of the other Weaver cars that I have, and when you see this for 20 bucks, you got to come home with them. I do have another Weaver Pensy car just like it. That's a different color. The two of them together, I think, is pretty neat. I only got one more hopper, and that's this Lackawanna one. It's a little different than some of the other cars I have. There's a nice plus that came with this one, and I didn't realize it at the time. In the box were 2 sets of these trucks. 2 sets, not 2 trucks. I got 4 of them. You got to figure complete sets of new trucks 5, 10 bucks, 20 bucks a set. I got this car for free, basically. And some of my Weaver cars do have trucks that are not in the best condition. So I'm going to have to go through and see which ones need new trucks. And then that's just, I don't know, that's just the sort of happy find that I love. This next car, well, 3 cars, is an MTH. They were $22 a piece or something like that. I got 3 of them mainly because I wanted something a little different than what I already have. And that's these flat cars with log loads. But each came with the stakes for the side and a wood load. And it's a nice long car, scale width. I like it. Even just by itself, it adds something to the train. Now, there was a problem with one of them. I got the first 2 cars out, went to get the third, and realized the one truck didn't turn. So I took the car apart. You end up with a flat car, a metal plate for weight, and the bracing underneath that the wheel's attached to. Now, the problem was that this one wheel set wouldn't turn. I figured it was just screwed on too tight, hole wasn't drilled big enough. But what it actually turned out to be was this truck is just falling apart. Whether it's zinc pest or some other kind of poor quality. I haven't seen that before in the, well, few MTH cars I've had. But brand new, in the box, all still wrapped up, and this truck was falling apart. I threw some glue on there to try to keep it together, but still, I think I'm going to need to replace this. And the bummer is, for a car that I paid 20 bucks for, I don't want to spend 24 on a set of trucks for it. So I've got an MTH box car I can borrow a truck off of. I think I need to look for damaged MTH cars at upcoming shows and see if they have 1 or 2 trucks that's in good shape and go from there. I don't want to sideline another car just to get this one working, but especially since I just got them, I want to see all 3 together. So I'll borrow a truck from another car, and then hopefully I'll find a set of trucks or a donor car at some point. Wow, I was just holding this and I just broke a piece off, so definitely a test of some sort. You know, the part there for the pickup roller just crumbled in my hand, so it's not even worth trying to get this on the car. It's disappointing, but at least I didn't spend too much on the car itself. This MTH Lackawanna car, it's a nice looking car. I do really like it, but I think it's going to be donating a set of wheels for now. Something to keep in mind if you're swapping trucks from one car to another, the length of the coupler. In this case, the flat car's coupler is a little bit longer. I know if you take the trucks off a caboose, coupler is the same length, but this part of the truck that comes out to hold the coupler is longer. So there are variations between the trucks, so just take a look and see if what you're trying to swap from is going to be usable on the other piece. I figured I'd take the truck apart to get any useful pieces out of it, and it seems like everything's fine except for this one center piece, and it's just crumbling away. So that's unfortunate. But at least I have a decent wheel set and the sides and the coupler. My only issue with these trucks is how do you deal with those springs? I took one set of trucks apart and tried to get those springs back in there and ended up just shooting them across the room. So if you guys have any tips, let me know. I tried the truck from that one Lackawanna box car and it just didn't look right with it being so short. The coupler, that is, being too short. So I looked around and I figured out that I had another box car I was working on, an MTH, and I had it apart. And I realized the trucks on that were the same ones that were on these Western Maryland cars. Actually, what I did was I took both the trucks off the Lackawanna car, put one of the trucks on the box car that I stole this truck for, and then I put a set of Lionel trucks on that Lackawanna car. And it's good because it raises the Lackawanna car up just a fraction. I always felt like that car sat a little too low. So to me, it actually looks better now. And this car has a truck on it that looks just like it belongs there. So now I don't need to worry about finding another set of trucks. I mean, if I find some, great, I could use some extras. But it's good to go and I don't have to worry about it.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on DAGryffyn Hobby.